Let's move now to another philosophers which is very common, no? They randomly existed, no? After Socrates or after Plato. They are not commonly after Aristotle. I'm just putting that one and organize that one because these three is the big three of Western philosophy. But apart from that, there is other philosophers like Diogenes, no? So he was the founder of Cynicism. Okay? This school of thought believes that the purpose of life is to live in agreement with nature. No? Cynicism is an extreme type of philosophy that you need to agree with nature. So for example, if you have everything in life, you need to go back in agreement with nature. So for example, you have everything. You have a good clothes. Throw the clothes. Be a simple person. Live with beggars. Live in a simple life. That's what cynicism is all about. And that what literally Diogenes applied. Because Diogenes is coming from a well-off family, and he throw the wealth, the fame, and the money. And he lived with the beggar. He begged on the street. He lived inside the jar with a stray dog. No? So, very extreme kaya siya. No? And then, ang batasan sa usa ka cynic is strange kaayo, my dear student. No? Okay? Cynic is a person who believes that people are motivated purely by self-interest rather than acting for honorable or unselfish reason. So meaning di na siya mosalig sa mga tao nga nay kwarta, unya taas og education, no? Magsige lang pangsaway ni kani mga cynic nga person. Okay? Look at that one. That is the life of Diogenes. He believed that the virtuous person should reject wealth, power, and fame to achieve a simple and happy life. He lived his life as a beggar and lived in a massive jar with stray dogs. So he was so dedicated to his philosophy cynicism. A famous critic of Plato and Aristotle. Sige, pangsaway gid taon niya si Plato ug Aristotle. The next one is Epicurus. He was the founder of Epicureanism. The school that believes that wisdom and simple living will result in a life free from fear and pain. Okay? So how can we able to free our life from fear and pain? No? We need to live our life simply. No? The same thing with cynicism, but the problem with cynicism, it is too extreme. No? You don't need to disregard the fame, the wealth, and the power. Just be simple, no? Just be low profile to yourself, no? Because sometimes if a person is rich, you are being many people will insecure because of your wealth, because the way you dress, because you are very well off of life, but you need to be low profile all the time, no? Because sometimes rich will also experience fear and pain. Kay dato magud kami di student, hadlok mangyapon na because tulison wa ta kabalo tulison ka. So you need to be profile, no? Low profile. Okay? So the greatest pleasure in life is only attainable through knowledge, friendship, and temperate life, no? Temperate is controlling oneself, no? Temperance. So knowledge, friendship, and temperate life. Okay, so that is the main reason of Epicureanism. He believed that the main obstacle to happiness is the fear of death. No? Every time when we feel that our death is coming, it always boils down to his advice that we need to free from fear and pain. How can we able to free from fear and pain if we keep on thinking ahead that we are going to die in the near future? You need to live yourself, cherish every moment you had, no? And you might notice it that your life will be added for a couple of 10 years or 15 years. because you are going with the flow, because you are cherishing every moment you had. Because life is so short and we need to cherish every moment. So that's what Epicurus wanted to advise to the people. No? If someone will invite you and for you this is once in a lifetime, go for it. No? Because life is so short. We need to cherish ourselves every moment we had with our loved ones. No? If someone will invite you, which is an event, which is something interesting to you, no, and sometimes you ignore it or you take down that one because you don't want that one, we might not know that it will not able to come back, no. So di na siya mabalik, no, and you miss that opportunity, no. Okay. So if we avoid thinking of the fear of death, we could be happy. And that's what Epicurus is talking about. Zeno of Cyprus. It is different to Zeno of Elea. Zeno of Cyprus is different. He was the founder of Stoicism, the school of thought believes that man is completely powerless to change the reality, instead to accept and deal with it. Reality is unavoidable. Reality is unbearable. No? Things that will happen is bound to happen according to Zeno of Cyprus. Can we really change the reality? We need to accept it and deal with it. No? Say for example, we need to accept the reality that the disease COVID-19 is all over around us. We don't know the exact time it will come back, but we need to accept the reality that it is all over around us. So we need to protect ourselves by observing medical precautions, no? COVID-19 precautions. Because this reality is unbearable. It is unavoidable. No? So we need to accept the fact that this disease will become endemic and it is within us. It is all over around us. No? Okay? So for example, traffic in the morning. Traffic is part of reality. So how can you beat the traffic so that you will not running out late to your work or in school? The traffic will not the one to adjust, but you are the one to adjust against the traffic. So you need to sleep earlier, you need to wake up earlier so that you could able to reach at your destination at the exact time. And you will not rushing to go to school and running late. You might be deducted with your salary, because commonly if you were late, you are being deducted with the use of biometrics. Okay, so we need to accept the reality. No? Okay. He also said that calmness and emotional fortitude is needed to the things over which we have little or no control. Okay? Emotional fortitude is you able to uplift yourself despite the adversity. And Filipino is commonly have the emotional fortitude despite the fact that they experiencing flooding inside their house. They swam on the flood. They swam on the flood. They're very happy. Filipinos are very resilient because they cannot because they accept to themselves that this reality is unbearable. And we need to be resilient all the time because we have no control of it. No? He believes in Diogenes that the purpose of life is to live in agreement with nature. But Zeno of Cyprus did not literally following the cynicism, but he has his own interpretation of agreement with nature, in which we need to be more simple to ourselves. We need to live based on our means. No, if you don't have enough money, why you should buy expensive things? No, you need to be careful of the expenses, especially nowadays, because all the commodities is very expensive. We need to be careful. We need to save our money. No, so it's some sort of that. No, Archimedes is another one. We all know Archimedes is very famous in science. No, he had many discovery and exploration, but he is considered as the best philosopher and mathematician of Hellenistic period. Hellenistic period is a period which is sprung during the rule of Alexander the Great, when he conquered the ancient Greece. No, that is Hellenistic period. So apart from being a philosopher, he is also known as famous inventor. No, if you might heard the Eureka, he is the founder of that. The theory of displacement, no, in which the idea of creating a massive vessel is the idea of the theory of displacement, if you try to remember it. No, kato nagligo siya, nahibong siya pag butang niya sa iyang lawas sa bathtub, niapaw ang tubig. No, dito siya naka-idea nga pwede ko maghimo og any heavier object. No, it has something to do with scientific explanation, no, like that one. And this is a breakthrough in order to create a very large vessel that could able to float, no, above the surface of the water or in the ocean. So mao ni siya peller, no, kaning displacement niya. So grabe siya thinking. He discovered the physical law of buoyancy, Archimedes' screw, Paulian lever, geometry of spheres and cylinders, iron claw, measurement of the circle, and burning mirrors. No? So unsa man ang burning mirrors? No? Katong ibanda nimong mirror if na sunlight, nya makasunog na dayon siya, especially if the object which is pointing by the light is a flammable materials. If you know the series, the series of unfortunate events in Netflix, kato nakapasunog sa balay nila is ang burning mirrors, gibandahan. So that is, so common sa kaya ni siya. Si Archimedes is very common also in inventing weapons, no? Grabe kay siya thinking si Archimedes, no? So Archimedes is, he had he had many contributions, no, in the modern science. Without Archimedes, there will be no the physical law of buoyancy, which is very common in the floating materials, no, that could carry a heavy object, so on and so forth. Okay, so those philosophers that I have mentioned, the Eugenes, Zen of Cyprus, Epicurus, Archimedes, are product of, some of them are product of Hellenistic period, the period in which Alexander the Great is the supreme leader of ancient Greece, because Alexander conquered the ancient Greece, because he Alexander is a Macedonian, he is not a Greek, no? So because of this Hellenistic period, naggawa sa mga bright ng mga philosophers, and one of that is Archimedes. So this is the end of the part of the post-Socratic and other Hellenistic period philosophers. So let's have next for the modern philosophers. This is the end of the presentation.